Welcome back everyone to DIY December Day 20, my series where I show you guys all of my DIY tips and tricks in a budget-friendly way. For today's tutorial, I'm going to talk about how exactly I made these watercolor drink stickers. These are very popular to do with signature drink signs, so if you want to learn, follow along with this tutorial. In order to make this, we do need sticker paper, a printer, and a Cricut. As always, all the supplies I use, I did link on my Amazon storefront for you guys, so if you got everything ready to go, let's jump right into this. On my desktop, I go over to canva.com. It is free to use. There is an upgraded membership if you do want extra features, but you do not need it for this. What you want to do first is go up to the top button where I'm clicking and hit create a design. I always come down to custom sizing and I plug in what I want. For this though, I am going to use just a basic square, so I'm going 3 inches by 3 inches. The sizing in Canva really doesn't matter as much. It's more when we bring this into Design Space. Now that we have this beautiful blank canvas, we want to bring in some images. On the left hand side, click elements, and then you're going to type in exactly the kind of image you are looking for. If it's a specific drink, make sure you type it in. Because I don't have a particular image in mind, I am just doing this to show you guys. I am looking at some sample watercolor drinks. To see more images, make sure you click that see all button, and then you should get a bigger variety of images. Clicking on keywords also does help, and then if you start seeing stuff you like, you can also hit the ... icon that pops up when you scroll over images, and it should allow you to see other similar ones that look kind of like that. So just to speed this video up a bit, I'm going to pick 3 random cocktails that I want to just show you guys examples of. Just a side note, a lot of these are pro membership images. You can do a free trial. I believe it is for 7 days. But if you also want to see the free options, there is a filter that will show you just those. So if we go back over to the search bar, you can see that top right icon. We're going to go down and we're going to click free. When you have that checked off, it should just show you all the ones you can use without having to upgrade your membership. And the way you can tell if it's a pro membership image or not is if it has a little crown icon next to it. Now that I've run through the Canva explanation, let's save these images out and get them into Design Space. Coming up to the top right, we want to click the share icon, and then we want to come down to download. Once you have that, you should be brought to another drop down. I am going to select PNG for this, and then I'm going to up my resolution. I am also going to go ahead and check off transparent background. If you are not a pro member, you probably won't be able to use this. So honestly, your image is going to save out with a white box around it, but don't worry, you can also remove it in Design Space, so you'll be good to go. And as you can see, here are my saved out images. Next up, we want to open up Design Space and get these ready to print and cut. Once you have a new project open, you want to go ahead and upload your images in. On the left hand toolbar, you should see the word upload, and then you want to click upload image again. Once you have this screen, go ahead and locate your files. Unfortunately, you can only do 1 image at a time, so we're going to go ahead and just do our first one. Once you see your image, go ahead and click continue. In this next step, if you are not a pro member and you couldn't save it with a transparent background, this is where you're going to click remove background, and it should get rid of it for you. The rest of the settings that are left here, I do leave alone, so I go apply and continue. And then for here, I do select flat graphic because I want it to be a print and cut. Once that's done, it should drop right into your canvas for you, and then I'm going to go ahead and do my other 2 images exactly the same. When those are all in, go ahead and resize them. Make sure the lock button is closed so they stay proportionate. If you are making this for a signature cocktail sign, just make sure you measure the space you already allowed yourself so your image doesn't exceed that. Once you're happy with the sizing, go to the top right and click make. Since I like to make the most out of my 8.5 by 11 paper, I'm just going to up my copies to the max that I could fit on this sheet. If you're making multiple signs for different bars, then I would go ahead and make copies based off that. When you're happy with what your printout's going to look like, go ahead and click continue, and then we are going to send to print. For these, I do like to add a bleed on them because it gives an extra border, so then when it goes to cut, there is no room for error. Then I also turn on system dialog because if you want the best quality print, you're going to have to toggle with your printer settings. Now, when you go to click print, it's not actually going to print yet because it's going to open the system dialog window, and the window is actually hiding behind the Cricut app. So when you see this screen, go ahead and move this window, and you're going to see that box hiding behind here. And this is where I change my settings to make sure I get the best quality print. Before you go ahead and click print, make sure you're loading in your printer sticker paper. This is the one I always go with. Absolutely love it. Highly recommend. It's on my Amazon storefront for you guys. And just be super mindful of how your printer works because I have to do my paper upside down in order for it to print on the correct side. Now that we have our printout, we want to have our Cricut cut this out perfectly for us. Make sure you're using a light grip mat and then loading in your paper normally in the top left corner. Your Cricut should be able to cut this out perfectly based off those corner marks, and then hopefully yours is coming out something like this. And as you can see, the bleed that we put on our print is actually left behind, so it makes it look like it is the absolute perfect cut even if it did make a mistake. And there you have your beautiful cocktail stickers. If you're looking for more money-saving DIY tips and tricks, make sure you're following along.